Okay, you guys, hold on. She's a dummy. This is a take two. I was partway through when my son called in, and because I don't have enough, they say I don't have enough space to upload or download or whatever videos and clips. I have to try to get everything done all at once, but we'll learn this stuff as we go along. So a couple things. One, I got my coffee, most important thing. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon. Got my dragon mug. Where's the card? Here's the card for the day. And welcome to the Wayward Widow. That's me. My partner died February 27th of this year from multiple system atrophy. So I am rolling into week 19 on Tuesday. Yeah, he was 71 when he died. The card says, when you dance, your purpose is not to get to a certain place on the floor. It is to enjoy each step on the way. And the action is focus on the now. Being present allows you to enjoy the journey rather than merely wishing on a future outcome. You're a little crooked. I'm sorry. I want to apologize for my error yesterday when I was talking about the batteries. Who caught it when I said I bought batteries for the flashlight, and I said they were it was a pack of C's when we all know they were AAA's, and I knew they were AAA's, and I don't know why I said C's. I am hydrated for the person who said they were concerned about the heat, me and the heat. Thank you. It's 92 in the apartment, in that part of the apartment, and right now I have the fan right here next to me. I'm going to turn it so you can tell I have the fan next to me. So I'm very hydrated. I drink tons of water. I have 4 fans. I have 2 of these white pedestal fans, and I have 2 table fans. So I'm okay. I also have air conditioners. There's one right there. It runs on a 110 line, and I have one out there also in the living room. It runs on a 220. And they're both godly expensive to run. I'm talking like $400 a month to run those air conditioners. A window unit, I can't afford. Not even a used one. Like, I can't. There's no money extra. And there's no money extra to join the gym to go swimming. We also have a community pool, and that's like $225 or $250 for the season. I can't do that either. So, but maybe in the future, Liam, I can go swimming. But not now. There's no swimming for me now. I think that was about it as far as the comments with like actual like questions or concerns. For everybody who's lost someone and you're the one left behind, I'm so sorry, because I really know what it feels like to be the one left behind. And I got a couple messages from people just over the last night of, you know, people in distress from their losses, and it's heartbreaking, and there's nothing you can say that's going to make a difference. But Lori Conway from Conway Adventures said someone gave her like a little snippet that said, go inch by inch, not yard by yard, because inch by inch feels more doable than yard by yard. And I have to agree with that. I'd rather go try inch by inch than yard by yard. So that might be something to think about if you're the person left behind. It's hard. I thought divorce was hard. Watching the person you love die, that's really hard. And being on your own, for me, it's really hard. And for most of us, it's really hard. So I'm in month 5. I'm still a baby at this. But you know, what can I do? So I want to show a couple things. I talked about some stuff yesterday that I used for Sky, but I didn't actually, you couldn't really see anything. So if you're in the process of buying equipment, because a lot of insurance companies don't cover these things, and they should, but if you're in the that arena of buying things, I'll just show you these couple things. And I did show it before, like long ago when Sky was still here. But he didn't want to use a cane because he had a little vanity to him. So I got these walking sticks that have the string and they have the little design. here, and I love the colors and the way the wood is. I actually got him 2 of them, and we got them at the corner store, believe it or not, the grocery store. They were all in a box, and look at this one with the notches cut out here, and they got the same string that he would hold on to the string. This is a lighter wood, and it has the little dip here, and yeah, he used these things pretty heavy. They were $12.99 a piece, to give you an idea. And you know, I keep them in my bedroom, one in each corner, because it just makes me feel closer to my guy, you know what I mean? I miss him a lot. I miss him a lot. I'm grateful to God that we were paired together to share the 13 years that we had. I am. I'm very grateful. What did I do with my glasses? Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn you around, and hopefully, height-wise, we're going to be okay enough. Or not. No, we're not. No? Not for the rollator either. Nope. Okay. So I'll drop you down some so that you can see a couple of things that I have left. And I'm holding on to them in case, like, you know, down the road, somebody else in the family might need them. Speaking of, my son is going in the operating room into a bay, actually. They're taking him into a bay, and he is having fluid taken out of his heart lining. This is the second time this is being done. He was officially diagnosed with Sjogren's last evening. It's official. And so he has fluid, and they're hoping that this is the last time they have to drain the fluid. The doctor said usually after 2 times, there doesn't need to be a 3rd time. So we're hoping. So while they're putting him in a twilight sleep, and he's all prepped, and so after they do that, then they're going to give him the 2nd injection into his abdomen to try to slow down the progression of Sjogren's. So that's happening at 4:45, and right now it's 4:30. So that's that. He'll let me know how things went when he wakes up. So what I did was, the first thing that I bought was, and we'll pull down the shorts, but I got this rollator, and it's got the really big wheels. You can see, I'm hoping I'm doing this okay enough that you guys can see. Got the really mega big wheels, and I got it so that he could, you know, walk along, push it, and he could walk with it. And it's got the brakes so that he could sit right here if he got tired at Walmart, you know. And it's got a basket. Is there anything in the basket? I don't think there is. It's got the sides on it, the hard sides on the basket. Can you see the basket? I'll pick it up so you can see the basket. There's the basket. And so what you do is you undo the brakes, and there's a strap, and you just lift up the strap to close it up, and it hooks. And then there's a little pedal on the back that you can push down to lift the front wheels to go up a curb. Okay, I got this from Amazon. It was like $220, but it went so fast that Sky couldn't keep up with it. He just couldn't keep up with it. And so we didn't use it very often, but we did use it sometimes to help him. Like if he fell, we used it as kind of like a brace. This is a wheelchair from Walmart, $129. It's a transport wheelchair. So you see how skinny it is, and it's super lightweight. Like when I was picking it up, I weighed 88 pounds. And you have to put part of it together when you get it, but you can get it in the area where they have all of the medical equipment at Walmart. So you just push down on the seat to open it all the way up. And it's got a seat belt. Let me tip the camera. There you go. There's a seat belt on it, and we use this a lot. We used it a lot. So if you don't have a lot of money and you just want a small wheelchair, this is the one to go with. And then you just take the straps and you pull up on the straps and it closes it like that. That's that. So I would keep this in the trunk of my car. And it has the footrests. There's the footrests. I had them off to the side. I showed the walker yesterday, standard walker. When I got it, it had the 4 wheels, and then he wanted the little pads on it. So I bought the little pads, and then he wanted the wheels back. So I have the wheels in the bag, and lost a pole, but so these just come off, and then you put in what size you want as far as the height. Super easy to take apart and put together and all that. So we would switch back and forth between the wheels and the pads depending on what he needed. So there are the 3 things besides the walking sticks that I saved as far as equipment. Okay. And I also have the books for everything. Now, ouch. Did she just pinch her fingers in the little clips? Yes, she did. On the tripod? Yes. Yes, indeed. Let's see, how tall do I want to be? That's good. Let me snap. So, stinking hot here again, like it is in most of the country. I'm thinking about you guys. I'm hoping that everybody is staying as cool as you can. It's 4:30 here now, so I want to say most of my day is almost done. I have a really important phone call tomorrow at 11 o'clock that I'm excited for. It's a Zoom call or a FaceTime, whenever we decide. It's with one of my daughters. And as time goes on, if things go well, if I feel like there's growth for me, I'm going to talk about what we're doing, but I'm not going to right now. Tuesday I have my doctor visit, my very last PCP visit with my doc after 27 years. Can you imagine? I'm going to miss that man like you wouldn't believe. I always got a Tuesday at 11 o'clock appointment because he's a teaching doctor. He's a teaching doctor. And he is so personable. He's been a doctor for 40 years. He would sit and talk with me for an hour because he had a 45-minute block open. So when I see him, I'll have 45 minutes with him. And I do have a ride set up, so I'm good there for the ride. That's really good. I am going to do the phone grief group this Friday. You guys are a little crooked. Just don't feel bad. I know that you haven't been drinking. I understand that. It's me. It's not you, it's me. There we go. There we go. Now you're a little better. Feel better? What was I saying? Oh, I'm going to do the phone grief group. I didn't do the last 2 months, but I'll give it a try this month. At that point, when I did my first one, I was like 6 weeks into this whole thing. Now I'm almost 19 weeks in. I feel like I've had so much growth in grieving, so to speak. Also, I have papers that I have to go out into the computer area, and I've got to scan the stack of papers. I've got to scan them, then give them names, of course, and then I have to send them by email through PDF. PDF. I do not want to mess up. Maybe since it's so late in the day, maybe I'll wait and do it tomorrow when I'm a little fresher. They're really important papers, and I have to get them out before the 24th of the month. So I can always even ask Kenny, am I doing this right if I just put them in the printer and then just do a scan? Anyway, I'll ask him. Trying to remember if there was anything else in the comments. I don't really think so. I want to say that did I say this about Lori Conway talking about inches and inches and yards? I think I might have already said it, but if not, I'll say it again. She said this morning, somebody gave her a little card that said, go inch by inch, not yard by yard. She's a new widow also. And so if you just try to go inch by inch and not yard by yard, it might make it a little bit easier. Maybe. I don't know. And I was thinking a little bit about prayer and God, and I'm getting better with my praying. And I'm understanding more what God wants from me. And I have a great teacher, and I love her, and she's amazing. And I was thinking about the whole dating thing, and I mistakenly said in my video when I was talking about giving up on dating because who would want me, I said I took down the dating apps. I was never on a dating app. What I meant to say was I took down my dating videos. I had 2 videos that talked about dating and moving forward. I took down the dating videos. I have never been on a dating app to this point. I did check some of them out, but if you don't pay, you can like look at people, but you can't get any of their responses. So it's like a kid in a candy store where like you can look through the window, you know, and there's all those cupcakes and stuff, but you can't, there's no money to go in there and buy one. That's kind of a really weird comparison, but you know what I mean. So yeah, expensive stuff, dating apps. But no, I'm not on any dating app. There's nothing to put back on. And but I was thinking, you know, I think that there are a lot of good solid men out there, and how many people really are rolling in dough? Like how many people are really that can say that they're that stable financially? Like I think a lot of us, most of us, I think, are going month to month with our finances. And it's just going to take one big thing to kind of, you know, tip the boat over, you know. But I think that the men that are out there, and I would be looking for someone like 66 to 75 years old, like in that bracket. I think people do try to take better care of themselves these days. And I wouldn't look to date for someone younger. No. But I think that I know that there's got to be some kind men out there who are lonely and would like a partner, whether it's just for a coffee or dinner or something. I could pay my fair share, depending on where we went, which would be, it would have to be very low key for me, you know. But yeah, I think that there's good people out there, and I don't think that you have to be rolling in dough to be a good, stable person for someone. I think some of the kindest people out there are people that are, you know, like middle income people that are just trying to, you know, make it. Because if they're widowers, they most likely went from a 2 income to 1, just like me. So things are tight and tough for most of us. Most of us are scrambling. So, you know, I don't think everybody's all set no matter what, and this and that and the other thing. I mean, at least I know in the geographical area where I'm living, you know, I'm not in California where everything's all ritzy and whatever. I'm not in California. I'm not in New York City or anything like that, you know. I'm in good old Pennsylvania. down near Philadelphia. So I just think that there's plenty of good people out there that are alone, that didn't plan on being alone, and they're looking for someone just really nice to have a relationship with, whatever that looks like. So, and I think I'm worth it. So we're going to let it at that. Say a prayer for Kenny. He's so worn out. I'm so worn out for him. He texted me in the middle of the night multiple times. He said, "Mom, I'm scared. I've got a lot of pressure in my chest. I don't have feeling in my left arm. They're going to do all this testing." So they did one of those oxygen breathing tests and stuff. They did more EKGs. They did another ultrasound on his heart. And Sjogren's is such a, man, it's a crazy disease. I just hope that cancer isn't next, because cancer runs rampant in his paternal grandmother's family. And Sjogren's is known to have cancer pop up. So I'm just prayerful. I'd like to see him have another 5 years where he has actually some decent lifetime in him, where he's not constantly in a hospital. And I'm not ready to bury another person or, have more ashes around my house. I got enough ashes in my house. I did, and I don't think I said this, but I will. I've had my cat's ashes for almost 4 years. I think this November would be 4 years. 3 years doesn't seem right. I think it's more like this November would be 4 years, I think. Not a lot of ashes, just a small amount. And I kept thinking about it because I'm going to be taking Sky's ashes, and I think I'm going to take them down to the lake, because his favorite thing in Gaelic is isk, which is fish. And he loved the river, all the rivers, all the water. And so he loved to go down to the lake and see if there was fish, and we would watch the turtles, and we would watch the frogs and all. And so I know that Sky would want to be somewhere close to me also. So I have 2 jars of ashes that I'm going to take down and put in that lake. And I have a half jar that I'm keeping with me along with the necklace. And but what I did with, because I was thinking about Moonshadow's ashes, and I'm like, how long am I going to leave my cat's ashes in this bag? So what I did was, because my cat loved to eat some of my plants. She would just nibble away on this one particular plant. And so what I did was I took her ashes and I went from plant to plant and put a little bit of ash in each plant in the dirt, in the soil, because she loved the plants and that's where she was happiest. So I put her tag, her cremation tag, and Sky's cremation tag together in Moonshadow's cremation box, along with a little bit more of Sky's ashes and some of Moonshadow's ashes. So Moonshadow is settled now. She's settled amongst the plants, and Sky will be settled in the river, in the lake very soon. I will walk down one morning early at dawn, and I will have my moment with him, and I will get him settled in his favorite place, and he'll be close to me. And then I will feel like, okay, I've done what I needed to do. So I'm going to go. Thanks for being here. Thanks for choosing me. I have an appointment tomorrow. I have an appointment Tuesday. I have an appointment Friday. Each one is going to be about an hour. And I did sleep last night. I slept decently around Kenny's text, surprisingly. And I just took a little bit of ibuprofen. I have just a tiny headache, and I think it's from the heat. But I'm okay. I'm okay. We're into July. So get through July and August, and then things will cool down just a little bit. And since it's just me now, I can just hang out here with the fan, and I'll be okay. And if it gets super, super hot, I can go open the laundry room door, and I can go down on the steps and sit on the steps, because it's really cool in the laundry room. It's a cement floor, block walls, and it's really cool down there. So I can go down there, take a pillow down, sit on a pillow on the step, and I can just sit down there and read like no one's going to see me. My neighbor on the first floor is 86 years old. He never comes out of his apartment in that door, using that door, like never. So I could just sit there where it's nice and cool if I need to. But I'm okay, I'm managing, and thank you guys for being concerned for me, but I'm okay. And take care of yourselves the best you can, and take care of each other in the comments. Watch out for each other in the comments, okay? If you follow Tiffany Thinks, she did just put out a video of where they found 2 nodules, one in each lung. One is 3 centimeters, one is 4. They've been there since, what did she say, December? And she gets another scan in August, and they haven't changed, but they're still there. So, you know, I can kind of feel more of what she's going through since I lost Sky. And she's a young woman, young, beautiful woman with what should be her whole life ahead of her. But this cloud all the time, you know, over her, because she knows she's got stuff going on. And so, you know, now with Kenny at 35 with Sjogren's and heart failure, I feel for him, you know. And I am still hoping he'll come here, hang out a bit, and he has to do cardiac rehab and meet with a psych doc once a week to kind of have the help that he needs there emotionally as he goes through all of this. And we'll just kind of keep each other posted, you know. So I'm going to go. You guys take care. Please try to stay cool. Try to stay safe as you can. If there's anything new going on, throw some comments in. If anybody's having a birthday or an anniversary or anything, let me know. Let me know if you're doing something special, if you're going on a trip or vacation. Let me know if you're having a rough time and what you're doing to try and get through those moments, because you might help me and you might help somebody else also. So we got to share the good and the bad, you know, because we learn from each other. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.